fire extinguishers and spill kits. That's today. So on our equipment, we have to have a fire extinguisher and a spill kit for when we're on job sites. Especially with the smaller equipment, it's hard to find a location to store these things. Skid steer especially, because there's really no room in the cab. My John Deere 60 excavator, very similar situation. So I'm going to try to come up with a solution to house both of them on the outside so that you can keep it out of the cab. So what I got is some 8-inch SDR pipe, some caps, a new fire extinguisher, truck bracket, some hold downs. And I have this material here to try and make a bracket. Will it work? I guess we'll see. So my plan of attack is to make a 2-foot long capsule, basically, that will house all the absorbent pads, the booms, gloves, and disposable bags. So to cut this off, I just had a big O-ring, put it down over the pipe, got it close all around, and it helped draw a circle so that it's somewhat even anyway. So we'll get that cut off, and then we'll see if everything will fit in it. Oh, I didn't see you come in. What do you mean you didn't hit the subscribe button yet? I've never seen the likes. Go ahead and smash that button down in the corner right now. Thanks for following along. So, we got the capsule cut. This is what I needed to fit. These are about 20 absorbent pads, 2 of these, nitrile gloves, and some plastic bags, which is not going to make a difference for a test fit. I was hoping to be able to lay these down like this and roll them, but I don't think that is going to work. Indeed not. So I think if we like this here, that one in. Oh yeah, we could definitely make that work. Definitely. Because once this cap goes on, I'll show you. Once this cap goes on too, we'll have a bit of extra room. So that should work out just fine. Okay, I think we'll get this cap put on. Guys, these caps just got a rubber gasket on them. little bit of lube, and that should pop right on. That's why this bevel is here. I'm just feeling inside to make sure it's just seated down the whole way. Once these caps go on, these are actually pretty hard to come off. So that's what I need for that side. This side's a little different story, because I want this side to be easy to come off. So we're going to take the gasket out. Okay, so that looks good enough, but right now that will definitely vibrate off. So this is what I have planned, is to mount this so that you can hold it tight. So I'm trying to decide, should we mount that right there? And that's probably the best option, actually. Move that one there, and this will get mounted in here. Now I did drill right through the pipe, but I'll show you why in a minute. So when I bolt that on, I'm going to have to cut a slot right here to allow the nuts and bolts from here to slide in. So this will give me a good alignment mark. Okay. So I'm not putting any Loctiter in this right now because this is pretty much proof of concept. So let's make sure everything works first, and then we can disassemble it all and put it back together. So that looks like, let's see, right here is the two nuts. This is what I gotta channel out the pipe so that fits in. Right, so let's take the grinder and notch that out. It should be good. So I'm going to drill this hole bigger so that I'll have a wider slot, because the nuts are bigger than the screw holes themselves. And then we should be able to zip that down with the grinder. There you go. That is better. There you go. So that's one part of it. I'll go grab the other part and then we'll get some measurements. Okay, so here's what I'm working with. I want to mount 2 of these together on one rack so they can mount on the excavator. So then, an easy reach, you can get your fire extinguisher or your spill kit, and they're both located on the outside of the excavator. I think I'm just going to do basically a flat bracket, but I am going to keep these up 1.5 inches for airflow, because a lot of times it's going to be mounted on basically in front of the radiator or close for air cooling. So to keep that lifted up, to allow air to flow, will be huge. So I did a little bit of figuring out here to get some dimensions, but we'll see how it goes. So this is what I come up with so far. This will be the setup. We'll weld one here, and then one out here. We'll line up. Something like that with a ladder. And on the other side, I'm actually going to weld a flat piece of sheet steel to give us something to bolt onto. Keep in mind, this is a prototype, so my next iteration of this for the bigger excavator or the skid steer may be different, but we'll see how this one works first. This is a very thin steel, and this is where I think I might end up having to change it. But get this welded up, get the other piece cut out, get this part put together. So I got this sheet cut out. I ground off the mill scale everywhere I'm going to be tack welding. And then this will fit here to form my base. So I'll weld that around. I'm just going to do small wells here, a couple places around. I think that should suffice. And when I flip it over, I may do the whole edge just to make it look better. But we'll weld this up, and I'll show you what my plan is to mount the fire extinguisher and the tube. Much better when you get the right setting. So that's the mounting plate all welded up. Let's grab our glove because that is so warm. I think good penetration because it actually did bubble through on the other side. So this is what I got. So now, mount the fire extinguisher and that tube. Let's go. So guys, this is kind of what I'm looking for. So both can mount as one unit, sit on the back of the excavator or the skid steer. Face it, this is why I put it up on channel, is for airflow, because especially on the skid steer it may be covering over a fair amount of the intake or the grating, so at least this will allow for some airflow. But let's get this fire extinguisher mounted, and then we can work on the mount for the spill kit. So that's going to have to switch around. Do it like that, it won't work. Yes, it will. So what I have worked out is that we're going to be 1.5 inches in from the edge. Come on, push over. Half. It's a 1 inch overhang. Welcome, Mrs. Dizzy Digger, boss. I think she's trying to smother me. She just turned off the exhaust fan. So I'll get those holes drilled and show you what it looks like when it's mounted up. There's 2 bolt holes here in the actual bracket that I'm going to move 1 inch to the right, just because it's really close to the edge and I don't want to go through the actual channel. Apparently the 5/16 drill bit doesn't drill the 5/16 hole. So I probably found this hole I drilled here, I drilled it too far this way, so I can't get a nut on it. So we'll have to step in a little bit and drill one more. So what I'm using for the hold down is just some ready rod. I bend it into a U shape. When I actually tighten it down, it'll take the form of the pipe a lot better than me just hand bending it. So let's put that up, get this bolted on. And we'll have to trim these off after the fact from underneath once we actually get the shape put in place. But let's put these on. So these are stuck out, one here, one here. Let's run these down. Let's see how bad I bunged up those threads. Well, let's see what it looks like from the other side. So I got the mounting brackets welded on one side. And all they are these little angle brackets I picked up, ground off the galvanized coating off them, and welded them on. I think 4 will do this just fine. So we'll get the other 2 welded on, and this will be ready for paint. So that's the general idea. We'll get it all hauled apart now, painted up, and I'll show you the final product. I think this is going to be pretty neat for sitting on the back of the excavator, and it'll look way better once it's painted up. Thanks for following, guys. Okay, so we got the finished product put back together. So this is what I ended up with. This is a 20-pound fire extinguisher. This spill kit will hold 2 absorbent socks, 15 absorbent pads, plus some disposable gloves and some clear disposable bags. The only thing I think I would change, I would probably go with a 10-inch instead of an 8-inch pipe, just to give a little bit more capacity for some spill pads. But other than that, this has worked out great. Next time you'll see this, we mount it on the excavator. Okay, as you can tell, it's a beautiful day out here now today. Show you the finished product. So this is where it's going to sit. The last thing I got to do is drill 4 holes and bolt this down. I think it's going to work out pretty well. I was worried about it being up in the window for line of sight, but it's well out of the way of the window. Okay, the last little bit is to fill her up. I do have 2 absorbent booms in there already. In the middle of this roll, there's some clear bags and some gloves. There's 15 absorbent pads. So we shove this in, just wrap that around. Cover. This is hard to do from the side of the track when it's slippery. And there you go. All set. Let's go back on site. So guys, thanks for following along. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Hit that little bell icon too, and then you'll get notified when our new videos come up. As always, God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.